Good evening, my beautiful soul brothers and sisters. How are you guys doing this evening? I am doing fine, doing wonderful, trying to get settled in for the evening, for the night actually. And before I shut it down, I wanted to come on and do a video on a much needed topic today. I've been seeing there's a plethora of videos and messages on social media, um, pop up messages concerning lawsuits, class action lawsuits, actually targeting black women who may have been harmed by hair relaxers. So I'm sure many of you have heard by now that the system has come out and practically admitted that they have been harming black women now for centuries. And I say centuries. I know at least since the late 1970s or so, maybe even before then, but that's as far as I remember. And so now, after destroying so many of our women and actually murdering many of them, along with all of the other information and how I put it, the karma that's coming back on these evils. This is a part of. This is a part of it. We're in the age of Aquarius, so everything shall be revealed. It's all surfacing. And so I want to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing and what I know. And just to make you guys aware, those of you who are not aware of what's happening today concerning that part of the destruction that they put forth on us. I'm going to put my eyes on so I can be able to see real good. And so, but there is a plethora of social media posts popping up here and there. I've been seeing them actually for the last 2 or 3 days. They've been bombarding my social media platforms, advertising shield justice teams, different legal teams, I suppose is what it looks like. And it's saying if you use hair relaxers and suffered reproductive cancers, etc., it states black women are 60% more affected than their counterparts. So it's all about hair relaxer cash settlements, it looks like. So I know many of you know by now that we were targets. We have been targets in this mass murder attempt worldwide. They were hoping to kill as many black women as possible and or maim us by destroying our wombs. It's part of the mass genocide and population control effort that have been in existence for centuries. There's an epidemic of hysterectomies on black women, and this has been taking place it's been happening for a very, very long time. There is a documentary out. Let me see. Aftershock, I think is the name. Yeah, it's Aftershock. I did a video on it a few weeks ago, and it talks about how these medical administrators are pushing hysterectomies on black women, and how we are in danger, how going into the birthing rooms is actually in many cases a death space, or It's just, and I have sensed all of this for years. And I would say things, and a lot of people wouldn't they didn't believe me. They just was not ready to accept that it was a possibility. But it is very real. And now in the age of Aquarius, it's become hot topics, and it's all being exposed because it has to be. But these chemicals also including shots. There's a shot. I know several young black women that I know personally received these shots back for birth control, and many of them, it affected their womb, causing endometriosis and PCOS and all kinds of health issues. So I mean, they've been after us, I believe, since we've been on the planet. Since they have been on the planet. I'm sorry, let me make that correction, because we were here before they were. They've only been here for what, approximately around 6,000 years. So since they've been on the planet, we have been a target. But I'm going to tell you how it started. Give you just a little what I've researched and found. First, they flooded us with white Jesus, which manipulated us to see them as gods and to revere them, and their European looks and everything about them. We revered them as something great. That's how they manipulated us to see them. And at the same time, they used the media to massively manipulate everyone to view us as something, as actually as scum, as people that were at the bottom of the barrel, scum of the earth. I hate to be so, come at it so strong, but that's what they did, and that's how I view it. That's how they've tried to make us feel. We were the worst of the worst, when actually, in fact, we are the reason this world still functions. We are the world. We have our melanated bodies keep this world functioning. And that's why we are so. They come after us. They try to stay connected to us. We're sought after, in order for them to be able to function and survive, to a certain level. They need us. They need our melanin. They need our energy. They need our bodies. They need us. And so we are actually what they have made the world believe that they are. They flooded our minds with the concept of white superiority, selling us hair relaxers, selling us bleaching cream. I had a young lady, I think of Hispanic descent. I was in the store one day, and she was I don't know, somehow she was assisting me with another product, and somehow we got on the topic of sunscreen, and I was trying to tell her that people of African descent didn't need sunscreen. We couldn't benefit. Actually, sunscreen would work against us. And she tried to tell me that anybody in the sun, any and everybody need a certain amount of sunscreen. You guys may not need as much, but you need it. And I'm like, I wanted to, but I said, okay. And I went on about my business because I knew better, and I just was not going to give that back and forth any energy. But yeah, the ignorance that it has been across this planet, the ignorance, the dumbing down of our people and of all people, in reference to who we are and what all there is to know about us. There's been a dumbing down. And people have really bought into the lies that Babylon has sold to them, and even sold to us. We And the fact to be with us, we just didn't remember. We haven't remembered for a long time. We're remembering now. We're remembering who we are, and with our DNA being cleansed and repaired, we are beginning to get the uploads to remind us of all of the truth that's already inside of us. It's just been hidden, and we've just been dumbed down, but we are remembering. But they flooded our minds and made us convinced many of us, many of us, to believe that the the white race, in a sense inferior race in many ways, was actually superior, and they did that. We didn't do it; they did it, and they hid all of the information, all of the truth about who we are, and so now that truth is coming out. But they are now. It appears they're offering settlements. They're legal groups that are out now pursuing, reaching out to black women who have used chemicals, to process their hair over the years, which I can't give you an exact number, but I know many, most all of the black women I know at some point in time did use relaxers. And I know many black women did have hysterectomies, and they're saying now that those hysterectomies are all tied to the chemicals that we used to use in our hair. And some black women are still doing it, and I suggest those of you out there that are still perming your hair, I suggest you refrain from that. It's been proven that it's very dangerous, and they know that it takes time for the effects to kick in. It could take many years, but that's what they've been expecting. And so I would suggest, my sisters, that if you are still using relaxers and perming your hair or any of that chemicalized stuff, to please stop. For your own benefit. I would recommend you to cease it. And we have to start embracing our natural hair, start going back to being ourselves, loving ourselves, and embracing real hair. Because we have real hair, guys. Hint, hint. So, but anyway, they created a well sought out plan, and that plan has been working for centuries. It's been working for centuries. So, guys, I have not begun to really research to try and understand how thorough these settlement offers are, or how real they might be. I have not looked into that yet. That is something that I am very curious about. And but I tell you what's strange though. Now I'm not gonna manifest anything that I don't believe. It's good for us. But the fact that they're telling us that currency is gonna die out, that the dollar is holding very little value, and that eventually the dollar will hold no value. It's strange how they are offering these settlements, and they're talking about, they're on this topic now, and at the same time the money that they're talking about paying us is, they're saying, is not going to be no more. I tell you, these people never cease to amaze me, to shock me. It's just the level of evil that is before us, and that has been before us, for most of us since we've been on the planet. All of us, really. But it is taking place, and guys, I would just suggest that you look into it. And those of you who may have been affected, and that's many of our black women has been affected. I can tell you that. I know several. And even if it wasn't some type of cancer, then just the mere fact that you had to get a hysterectomy, could definitely be tied into the reason be you use chemicals at some point in your life. And there are many, many of our women uh, that have gotten hysterectomies. And I don't leave out the fact that many of them didn't need hysterectomy. So, and I do realize that. But we just, I would just suggest that we dig a little deeper and research um, the information on this topic, because it is definitely popping up on social media. If I'm seeing it, I know many of you got to be seeing it as well. So I just want to shine light on it for those who, uh, have not seen it, and for those who may have noticed it but haven't really put much thought in it. It's something that we do need to pay attention to, and just look into it and see what it's all about, and how we might fit into the compensation of this evil, because it is definitely happened. I can remember, guys, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go ahead and come to a close. But I can remember back in the 70s when the hair relaxer was very popular. And I was in high school, actually. I'm telling my age, my Babylon age, but that's okay. But I can remember when everybody had a perm. It's like, I may have known one or two people who never embraced it, and I take my hat off to them for not doing it for whatever reason. But most everybody had a relaxer, and it was almost like if you didn't have a relaxer, what was wrong with you? That's kind of that fell in all that part fell in the self-hatred, and and following the crowd, and us behaving like sheep, which is how many of has behaved, for a long time. Now, I wasn't always asleep to a certain level, but, of course, as we, elevate, we awaken more and more. Because I've always been a very, I want to say high vibrating individual, to a certain level. But I tell you, I just wished I understood, and it did cross my mind in later years. I think maybe in the 90s, maybe the mid 90s, a few times during that time, I can remember thinking about what, that the fact that it's actually a chemical, and what it could be doing once it gets in our bloodstream. But for some reason, I always counted it out. I guess I don't know, maybe I had too much going on, and I just didn't really take enough time to really focus on it. But we should have, and I guess we could have given it more attention. Well, we definitely should have. But we are responding to it now, many of us, and I want to make sure you guys are up on the game, and that you are made aware about these lawsuits that are information on these lawsuits that are popping up almost daily on my social media, so you can look into it for yourself. And I just wanted to come on and do a video about it, because of course not everybody is going to get all the information. There's always somebody out there who this will resonate with, and I am targeting you guys, and even those who hear about it and just didn't give it a second thought. Let's look into this and see, how we can benefit, or what should we do with this becoming a highlighted topic. So that's my video for this evening. I appreciate very much that you actually stayed to the end, because everybody's busy right now. Well, a lot of people are busy. Some people are not, but I'm glad you took the time to follow the video to the very end. I appreciate that. And I'm going to ask you if you would like the video, because when you like it, others can see it. And if you will, please share it, because when you share it, more people can see it. And I appreciate you for that. I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum to you. Namaste, Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. I appreciate you so much, family. What I do for you. I do for us. Like I always say, you are my people, and I love you so very much. You guys have no idea how much I love my people. I really do love you guys. And I appreciate you very much. We are one together. We are a unit. And so we have to learn how to walk in unity. That's how it's supposed to be. So take care, guys. Remember to get some sun. Go out in nature. Embrace nature. You know, everything is nature. Everything is energy. Embrace it, guys. And remember to hug somebody. There's always someone that needs a hug. Again, I love you. Peace unto you. And until next time, I'm going to say bye-bye.